YouTubers, welcome to another episode. Today we're racing at the Welsh Beach Sprints Championships, the first of the 4 Nations League that will be happening throughout the season. Today we've got a very windy day, an onshore wind, so it's going to be a tough headwind getting out there, and coming back we hopefully will be flying in the tailwind. First, we've got the women to race in their singles and their time trial, then we head into our racing in the time trial with the guys. But before we get into the racing, I've got to go warm up to get ready to get onto the water. Just a little jog to get the body moving, get the heart rate up consistently, because you can't actually get any warm up on the water before a race. And that's the first women's boat away on their time trial. I've just finished up my first part of the warm-up on the run, so getting a good sweat on, and a little test out of the hips for those of you that didn't watch the previous episode. Had a little bit of an issue after sprinting with my hips. They have loosened off, so that's good. Just feels a little bit wobbly, but we'll deal with that later on. We have to deal with the cards we're dealt as always. So continuing the warm-up, probably gonna maybe hop on an erg if there's space, continue a little bit of mobility, a little bit of stretching, and get ready in about 30 to 40 minutes for my time trial. Couple big long strokes. Yeah, let's go. And time to chill out post time trial. That was an interesting one with the big headwind going that way. You are trying to stay relaxed, try and get the blades in, but the conditions are doing everything they can to make that quite difficult. So you're getting like a weird sort of, or at least for me, get out there, it's like, okay, yeah, I'm getting the blade in, and then you kind of, oh, but also have to yaw on it. So try to get that balance right. Attention. Turn for me probably could have been better. Thought I would get kicked a bit better with the wind. I didn't. So maybe a little bit wide, but not too bad. Gregor, how was yours?
Probably one of the hardest I've done in a while. Similar to you actually, I felt I was getting the blades in, but just there was nothing behind them on the way out. And then the forearm blew up at the turn. So my turn was pretty diabolical. But then it's just hanging on for dear life on the way back and hope I'd get to the beach.
And then when you get to the beach and you get out of the boat, you've still got a little bit of a run to do, so your legs are like, no, 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 but your mind is saying yes, yes, yes. So now we wait on the results, get some food, because remember, food is fuel, because we will have multiple races for the day, and try just to chill out and relax a little bit. And we have the results now. I ended up in 3rd in the time trial, which probably is about how that feeling matched up with how I did in the race. It means that I will be racing against 14th in the next race, side by side, and then progressing on through. So now I've had a little bit of food, had a little bit of relaxation time. Now we watch some more side by side racing in the women's, and then we go ahead and get on with our races for the side by side.
That's me falling attention, go.
And that's Gregor away off on his first side-by-side race, flying off the start, and finished my first side-by-side race, came away with the win, so we progress on to the next round. And now, as you do go through the rounds, the races should get tighter and tighter, so just have to always, in between the races, make sure we're fueling up, because remember, food is fuel, so that we can keep progressing and be able to get our best out of each race and stay off the feet probably as much as possible. But also in the conditions that we have today, big old headwind going out there, so it's about getting the blade in, being strong, but also trying to be as technically on it as much as you can without tensing up. So it's a difficult one for me, something that's actually really good for me to try and work on. So a really good chance for me to get out there. The turn on my side-by-side there was pretty horrible. With the headwind pushing us this way, I underestimated sort of where to stop. So I stopped a bit early for the turn, ended up just sort of paddling it round. So not a good turn, something to improve on in the next one. Keeping on the fuel, keeping warm, and on to that side-by-side race.
Yeah, go.
And that is me out of the competition. Lost that second side-by-side race against Hal. Good racing there, Hal. Just very frustrated with that one. Got off to an okay start. Felt like I was putting power down. Gained on Hal quite significantly going into the turn. Another not so good one. Which that adds to the frustration. Whereas out in practice, and especially on camp, been learning and doing the turns pretty well. But it seems in race time, when I'm doing the race, I'm not really sure what I'm thinking when it comes to the turn. I'm not thinking the right things. So need to work on that, because I felt like I was pushing away and then gave him lots of time on the turn and then gained back on him, but just not enough. So just, yeah, frustrating, because that's similar to what happened in a regatta a few weeks ago, and then here as well. So yeah, not super pleased with that. It's always a case when you don't do well, or at least you don't do as well as you hoped, that if you finish the race thinking, well, I went as fast as I could and there's nothing else I could have done, that's different to like today, whereas there's a couple of things there I could have done differently and made the outcome different, and I didn't do that. But it is part of the journey, Yam Squad, and it is a little bit of the nature of beach sprints with so much variation in each race. You have to be able to adapt and be able to change to whether it's the conditions. Even today with the big headwind, if one bit of head, like one gust doesn't hit you or does hit you, that can affect how you approach the turn. But that's probably something that I'll just continually have to learn, and my fingers are crossed, and my aim is, even though I've just finished this race here today, my aim is to go to to the next race we've got coming up. I think it's the English Champs, so the second round of the Four Nations League, and do the turns as I do them in practice in a race, rather than doing whatever I've been trying to do here. So probably a little bit more practice on that as we go forward. Now I'll enjoy the rest of the racing, get to watch it, see what people do in their races rather than trying to think what I need to do, see if anyone's doing stuff differently and I can learn from that. And that will be it for today's episode, Yam Squad. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Again, similar to last episode, whoops, not quite the video I would have liked to make and show you guys, but it is the journey that we are on and we deal with the cards we are dealt. If you enjoyed the episode, hit that like button. If you got any advice for me, as always, leave a comment down below and subscribe so you are notified for the next episode when it does come out. Alright.